I don't think it's any secret at this point that my favorite game of all time is Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, look at the channel name. So that also means it should be absolutely no surprise that a sequel, Super Mario Odyssey 2, is my most anticipated game as of right now. The only thing is, there's been zero news about a Mario Odyssey 2 even being in development. We just had a Nintendo Direct, and even there, no new Mario games in sight. Today I want to try and answer the question, where is Super Mario Odyssey 2? Is there even going to be a sequel? When would it come out? What evidence can we look to for its existence? All of that I'll be covering today as I try to solve the mystery of Super Mario Odyssey 2. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, but with that said, let's discuss the theoretical sequel to Super Mario Odyssey. First off, is Super Mario Odyssey even worthy of a sequel? Now I think you all know my answer, but to those of you who don't think a sequel could work, let me explain. Super Mario Odyssey was an incredible success, being the best-selling 3D Mario game to date and the 5th best-selling Switch title. That means money-wise, there's certainly incentive for Nintendo. Gameplay potential is also incredibly high. I think it's safe to say Mario Odyssey has the best controls out of any 3D Mario. Even people that don't like the game can usually at least say its controls are near flawless. I say near because it's still really annoying that you can't down throw with Cappy using a Pro Controller. Hopefully they fix that. Speaking of Cappy though, this is easily the place that has the most potential for new gameplay. Instead of having power-ups like the Fire Flower or Wing Cap, Mario Odyssey focuses on using captures. In most cases, these completely change Mario's controls, allowing him to collect moons in several different ways. With Nintendo already having Mario's controls completed, they can shift their attention for this game to be on making new captures. They don't even need to be brand new enemies like the Uproot or Gushin. There are several Mario enemies that don't appear at all in Mario Odyssey. To name a few, we have Bob-ombs, Boos, and Koopas since they don't act as enemies outside of 2D sections. Bob-omb Mario could explode after some time, like the Bullet Bill just without flight abilities. Boo Mario could act just like the Boo Mushroom from Mario Galaxy. Koopas could maybe be a way to move around faster and break bricks. That's just the tip of the iceberg for new capture possibilities. In reality, there are hundreds of Mario enemies not yet in the game. With every new capture comes a ton of new and unique scenarios to get moons. So the potential for a sequel is clearly there, but what makes me think a sequel could even be on the table? Just because a concept has a ton of room to grow does not automatically mean it's going to get a sequel. Well, now I think is the best time we look at trends to see how often Mario games get sequels. Ignoring spin-offs in 2D games, the only real sequel among the 3D Mario games is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Sure, Super Mario 3D World could also be considered a sequel, but I don't really consider it as one. Besides the name and every level ending in a flag, 3D World and Land are quite different games. So while it may not happen too often, that's certainly not a deal breaker. I mean, it did happen before, which is what is important here. The story goes that Super Mario Galaxy 2 was just supposed to be an expansion to the original, but then the developers just got so many new ideas that they just had to make a sequel instead. Now, if you follow that train of thought for a possible Odyssey sequel, it might just be the best explanation as to why Mario Odyssey never got any real DLC. Sure, it got Luigi's Balloon World and a few costumes, which were all great, but it never got something that major. I mean, let's look at some of the other big Switch games. Breath of the Wild got a whole new campaign in the form of paid DLC. Splatoon 2 got the Octoling expansion. Smash Ultimate of course has its 2 Fighters Passes. It seems more often than not that big Nintendo games are getting more and more DLC. Even if it's not paid, games like Animal Crossing New Horizons get a ton of updates, though that stuff definitely should have been there from the start. That makes Mario Odyssey stick out a ton. I mean, could you imagine the sales on a DLC pack that just introduced a single new kingdom? The fact that they didn't make any DLC for this game when it would have not only been easy but extremely well received seems to imply to me that they're working on something else. Also, slightly unrelated, but this logic applies to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as well for me. Now, that thing they're working on could very well be something entirely new. However, it'd be really weird to make a whole game from scratch when everyone wants a game in the style you've already made. So I think this all points to a sequel happening at some point. But when would that be exactly? Well, I think the easiest place to start is looking back at the release date window between Mario Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2, as it should provide a relatively usable time gap for this comparison. Super Mario Galaxy was released on November 1st, 2007. Super Mario Galaxy 2 was released on May 23rd, 2010. That means that the gap between these two games was just about 2.5 years. If we apply that to Mario Odyssey, we could see that we're already well past this time gap, by quite a decent amount too. That means it's certainly not too early to be getting a sequel, but does that mean it's too late? I mean, Mario Odyssey is approaching its 4-year anniversary. Well, to answer that, no, that's dumb. Nintendo's not going to not release a sequel like this because it's 4 years later. I mean, Odyssey still feels very fresh. If you for some reason don't believe that, I mean, they're making a Breath of the Wild too. The original was released several months before Odyssey, and a sequel still doesn't really have a concrete release date. Splatoon 3 is also coming out soon, which is just another game to show that Nintendo is certainly willing to make sequels for their successful titles. With those two big games announced, alongside the new Kirby the Forgotten Land, they might be holding Odyssey 2 off until after those. As the Switch's life goes on, they're understandably making less and less games as their library is already very strong. I think that means they're going to try and spread out their major releases more. 2017 was a huge year with a big game pretty much every month, though since that was the launch year, it makes sense. Now that the console is older, I could see them not wanting to bunch up all of their titles in one place. I don't think the Switch is going to be replaced anytime soon just due to how well it's selling. I mean, I think they're going to make the push for this to outsell the Wii, and for that they're going to want to make sure that there are always games to look forward to. That's why I think Mario Odyssey 2 will be placed after these games. But how much further? This is where it starts getting tricky. The last Direct saw no new Mario game announcement, spin-off or not. The only information present there was for Mario Golf DLC, which is awesome by the way, love Ninja, more info on Mario Party Superstars, and the voice cast. But yeah, after Mario Party there is nothing to look forward to for Mario fans, and that release is just a month away. If we ignore spin-offs though, it's been quite a while since the last mainline Mario game. I mean, Mario Odyssey really was the last one. Even if you count Mario Maker 2, that was over 2 years ago. Now this could very well be because of them realizing that they sort of oversaturated the Mario series before the Switch. I mean, they released 2 new Super Mario Bros. Games in the same year at one point. But this large gap just leads me to believe that we can't be too far off from a new game. So if I were to make a bet, I'm going to say that Mario Odyssey 2 would release in 2023. As I said, next year is absolutely packed already, so that means they're going to need to have games for the year after that. I doubt we'll see Breath of the Wild 3 made in just a year, and with Smash DLC ending this month, they're going to need something big to hold fans' attention. I could very well see Mario Odyssey 2 being the next big game announcement at E3. Even then, it could be at just any other Direct. I just believe that if there's a time, 2023 would be it. But there is one game. One title that is standing in its way. Funnily enough, it's sort of a team kill. It's a game we mentioned earlier, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, why do I think this would be in the way? Well, it's simple. Pretty much everything I said in this video applies to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and in most cases, to an even greater degree. Not only is this the by far best-selling Switch title, it's almost the best-selling Mario Kart game. In fact, if you combine its sales with its small Wii U counterpart, this is the best-selling Mario game. It's no secret, Mario Kart is a huge seller. That means that everyone, including myself, have been dying for a Mario Kart 9. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe never got any DLC tracks. In fact, all of these are the same from the Wii U title. The original came out in 2014, making this game almost 7 years old. The largest gap between new Mario Kart game releases before this was the 5 years between Mario Kart 64 and Super Circuit. I think it's pretty obvious that Mario Kart 9 is soon approaching. I mean, Nintendo must hate money if they don't make another Mario Kart for this system. I know that people think that Mario Kart is one of those series that only gets one title per console, but if that were the case, Nintendo should have been pumping out DLC for this game. So again, why do I think this stands in the way? Well, it's because I think Nintendo is going to prioritize Mario Kart 9 over Mario Odyssey 2. Now granted, they could still both happen, in fact I think it's likely, but both of them happening in the same year feels off to me. Having 2 major Mario games to choose from just feels wrong to me. To be fair, this is exactly what they did in 2017, though the difference was that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was just a port. A really good port, but a port nonetheless. So this could push Mario Odyssey 2 back to 2024. Now of course there's still a strong possibility that Mario Kart 9 could even be released next year, and then Mario Odyssey the year after that. I just have a hard time believing that Mario Odyssey 2 and Mario Kart 9 would be placed in the exact same year. Now that we've established that I think it's coming, when it could be coming, and why, I think it's now time to discuss a bit of what I think the game could actually be like. I'll keep this brief, but I believe it'll be very similar in scale to the original. Mario Odyssey already had a ton of content with nearly 900 unique moons. While they could go for the 1,000, I think everyone would be satisfied if they stuck to a similar amount. I do believe this game would have more unique captures though, considering they would likely bring back many of the captures from the previous game alongside new ones. Currently, there are 52 captures in Odyssey, so I could see this number being pushed to 60, if not 70. Similarly, many of the costumes would return. In fact, it would make total sense if all of them returned as well, since, you know, they're already modeled. Obviously, new ones would be added for the new kingdoms as well. I'm guessing the count will be about the same, with possibly 1 or 2 more total. I could see a few kingdoms, like New Donk City and the Mushroom Kingdom, return with a few new areas to explore, since they're both so tightly tied to Mario Odyssey's identity. I'd also really like a Steam Gardens expansion, since that's probably my favorite kingdom in the game. As for the new kingdoms, there are a ton of different types of locations that could have Mario and Cappy travel to. It's hard to say specifically what, but I think maybe creating locations from previous Mario games would be neat. What if there was a sort of mineshaft kingdom where you could meet Wario and Waluigi similar to Wario's gold mine, or maybe you could go to Sarasaland or even Delfino Plaza. Maybe there could be a sort of retro world where everything looks like the original Super Mario Bros. In fact, since this is a world-trotting adventure, how cool would it be to travel to locations from other franchises like Zelda or F-Zero? The possibilities for new kingdoms are truly limitless. I just hope we get to see at least an idea similar to this. It would just be really neat to see Mario characters that are usually in spin-offs in actual mainline titles, like they did with Pauline. Speaking of, I predict the music will be bangers once again, with probably one or two more from Pauline, seeing as Jump Up Superstar is quite popular to say the least. I also think that Jump Up Superstar and Break Free Lead the Way will also likely be there, along with maybe a few of the other tracks. Even if they don't play a role in the story, I could see them being secret unlocks for the music menu. Finally, I predict that this game is going to be at least a little bit harder. Generally, direct sequels for Mario games are harder than the last since players are now used to the game, so I'm looking forward to possibly some new challenges. I could see that actually leading to there being less total moons in this game. Since you would be spending more time on each moon, I could see them cutting down on the total amount. That'd be totally understandable, hopefully not too much of a moon cut, but I could see it happening. Either way, I'm really excited to hopefully see this game soon. But anyways, that's it for this quick little video. Do you all hope bloopers make it into Mario Odyssey 2? Let me know in the comments. I'm also really curious to hear some of your ideas for the game, so let me know if you have any good ones as well. As I've said for the last few videos, my schedule is getting very busy, however I've been working hard on making these videos short so I can stick to a somewhat weekly schedule. If you all want to hear some more specific thoughts for a Mario Odyssey 2, like maybe a video describing new captures like I did for the enemies earlier, or maybe some new kingdoms, let me know in the comments. But anyways, dry bones for Smash, and I'll see you guys next time.